The S&P and NASDAQ are still slightly lower, but is this a buy in a dip? Well, joining us now is Jeff Kilberg, founder and CEO of KKM Financial and a CNBC contributor. Who wants to talk about stocks when we can talk about Notre Dame football, Jeff?
That is true, Tyler. But I think the producer wants to talk about stocks. So I know if we go back, if I recall, Tyler, one of your favorite songs from Taylor Swift is Shake It Off.
Yeah.
So these markets are shaking it off today, bud. And we're interested to see, as every opportunity, you see the S&P 500, it's at lofty levels, it's back above 3,700. But just this morning, it cracked 3,600. I think it's a big deal. When you look at the VIX, you talk about the VIX, which we like to utilize as the fair gauge. It went above 30 for the first time in quite some time. That was nearly a 40% move higher. But now all of a sudden, it seems like people are repositioning, rebalancing, and really embracing all the volume being put in between the S&P 500 3,600 level and 3,700 level. So I think we have to remain calm and approach this as a buying opportunity, just like we have all year here in 2020, as extraordinary as it's been.
What does it mean that we come to the end of the last eight trading days of the year? Presumably, lots of people are going to be getting out of town. Maybe the volume is going to be lighter. Should we prepare for big swings?
Well, I think with certain lockdowns from state to state or country to country, maybe volume's a little bit bigger than historically speaking. But nonetheless, you have to expect the lighter volumes. I think a lot of the rebalancing, most of the financial advisors and family offices that we work with are looking at that, but they're still considering what other profits they can take, what other sectors they can rotate into. So look at the themes. We talk about some of the themes in 2020. We see those themes persisting. So if it's healthcare, look at a name like Johnson & Johnson, and even a laggard, Tyler. Look at CVS. CVS has been down for the year. You're starting to see a little bit of rotation into some of these laggards, but I think we have to stick with a lot of different themes out there. Home building. Certainly we like the home builders. A lot of folks are in Home Depot or even Lowe's, but look at Masco, MAS. That's a name that provides a lot of different supplies to those different companies. And I also think we have to look at PayPal. So there's certain sectors of the market or certain rotations that are still interesting in the next couple 8 days, and that's opportunity.
PayPal owns Venmo, don't they?
They do. And what did PayPal do back in October? They changed the whole Bitcoin world. They announced to their 350 million users that they are now allowing those users to incorporate cryptocurrency and Bitcoin as payment, as a fiat currency inside their matrix. And there was just a survey last week, Tyler, that came out that 20% of the 350 million users are now using Bitcoin as payment. So that's a really big deal. You're continuing to see Bitcoin surge, and I think any type of company looking or touching Bitcoin is going to appreciate as well in 2021.
What was the biggest game you ever played in when you were playing at Notre Dame? And I know there were some big ones.
There were. My freshman year, the game of the century. We were playing Florida State against Charlie Ward. We beat them at home. Then the subsequent week, we lost to Boston College, but we're not going to talk about that. But the game of the century, 1993, Tyler, it was a big one.
It should be a big game when they play Alabama later this year. Jeff Kilberg, thanks very much. We appreciate it.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.